Okay. In 2014, I met a girl on the internet named Rebecca, and we decided to have some sort of online type relationship as far as just being good friends and sharing each other's life that way. And then I offered to come to her house, and come visit her and see how we would do in person. And so I did that. I met her at the airport and tickled her ear all the way home. And that was like the real me, like very loving and passionate and caring about the person I'm with. And she showed me her house, and it was nice. It was a nice place. And her parents came home afterwards. We ate dinner, and then I spent the night there. Didn't have any sex. I'm not down for just meeting a guy at the airport and then bring him home and have sex with your parents not even knowing this guy. So I wasn't. That was not my goal. And I talked to her father in the morning, and we talked about dating and love and stuff. And he said he didn't believe that internet relationships could happen, and he didn't expect our relationship to work out. And so, my father had passed 2 years earlier, and I was looking for some fatherly advice from this guy, and I took it. I took his advice, and that was his advice to me, was that our relationship was not going to work out. And then from that point on, I had my mind set up that I was not going to fall in love with this girl, and our relationship would not work out. And it's the way I tried to tell her while I was there, but I didn't get the words out, the correct wording. So we ended up flying back to my house, and near my birthday time, and we had sex there. It was good, but I mean, there was passion that we still had to create from a relationship. And the next day, I told her that I didn't love her and I didn't want her living at my place, and this hurt her. And she went and cried outside for about 2 hours, until I went and found her and told her, she can stay, and I want to try to make a relationship out of out of each other. And so that's what we did, and we moved into a new apartment. It was okay. It wasn't that bad. Kind of made it a home together, for the most part. But I mean, there was probably still a lot more stuff that we could have created together to make it a better home for each other. But at the time, I still had my mind made up that I was not going to get attached to a girl that I planned on losing. So in my mind, it just wasn't going to work out still, even though I told her that we would try. And I still, yeah, I mean, we sort of tried. She, at the time, she was on the phone a lot of times with old friends and her relatives, trying to see what she would do about the situation. And she ended up meeting guys on the internet and using them for dates. It wasn't a good idea. They didn't work out. Whatever. I mean, I don't blame her for. She was just trying to get into. She was trying to find her place in life, and she was trying to get into a relationship, and they didn't work out so well. But eventually, she did find someone that she worked with to date, and she moved out of my house with him to a place they got together. And at the time, I thought about, okay, well, this is okay. He's not that bad of a guy. Seen him before, and he's not that bad. And her parents even came to visit, and we went to a museum or two, and still had a good time together. And I explained to them, how I felt about our relationship ending and how I felt about the new guy. And she wasn't in any danger, so I was happy at least with that. That she wasn't in any danger. She wasn't in a dangerous relationship. And eventually, I started going to the doctor more often to get tests ran on my stomach. And I got a few, x-rays that I needed to look on her computer for it, because my CD player didn't work on mine. And so I, stopped by a few times, and we talked about my X-rays, I guess, right? And somewhere around that point, I saw she was with somebody else, and I never used that as a um, reason to develop an attraction to her. I just did for some reason. I developed a really strong attraction for this girl, and at that point, I fell in love with her. And from that point on, I tried to like win her back, win her love back, and I probably could have done it a few times. I just didn't, take advantages that I had, and I still wouldn't have sex with her, even though because she was dating somebody else. I didn't want to put her in the situation to have to cheat on a mate, because I've never cheated on anybody, and so I don't feel like other people should be put in that position. Um, so from there, I took this love to unsafe levels for myself, and ended up staying out too late, staying up too long, didn't eat correctly, um, and in the end, I ended up getting in a car wreck in a rental car I had, and I really damaged myself more than I have in two wars I was in. Like cars are more unsafe than guns and bombs, in my opinion, just to some extent. Um, and I ended up fracturing. Like the two things I loved to do the most at the time was run and play the piano, and now I pretty much there's a chance that I can do neither of them. I mean, I'll probably be able to do them again with good healing, but there's a chance I won't be able to do either of them. And I, fractured my leg here, and so like running is difficult. I mean, I'm not even able to run yet, and fractured my arm up here, and so this arm bends and this arm doesn't bend. It doesn't even. I mean, it will with surgery, but right now I can't bend it. So I mean, using it is to an extent a little bit more difficult, and I'm in constant pain. So that's what it is. What it is, and it's just funny that I've been to war, but I get injured over an attraction to a girl, right? And the attraction, like, where did it come from? I've searched for myself, and um, I searched in myself, like, where did this even happen? And then I'm kind of just relying, like, well, maybe it was fate. Maybe I was supposed to really fall head over heels in love for this girl, and I didn't do it in time, and now it's some sort of karma thing where I'm paying for it now, as far as being totally injured and being miserable as my life goes. Uh, it's not that bad, and I have opportunities left to that I can still look forward to do. The only bad part is just realizing that the last year of my life was kind of a disaster in some effect, and I don't want parts of my life to be a disaster for me. So I look to find some sort of meaning out of that, and the meaning is Rebecca. It's this girl that I fell in love with later on, and I never had the chance to fully show her while we were together, and I'm really sorry for the pain that I caused you, and I'm paying for it now. Okay, and that's is what it is. That's the way it is. That's what happened, and I mean that's about it. Um, so I look to find like where the meaning inside myself, and that is like, well, now I'm head over heels in love with this girl that is not with me. We're still in contact with each other, but we're not mates or anything, and she still has my boyfriend, and so it's hard for me, like now I don't care about cheating. Like I don't care. I'm gonna get her back somehow, some way. I'm gonna do it, and I've kind of made it a personal life goal to do it. And it's weird, and that's a little bit weird, and I've never even been in that situation before in my life, but I've never been again. Then again, I've never been in this situation either, and I just want to make the most of it, and that's all. And shoulda, shoulda, more love when we were together, and maybe this wouldn't even happen. Maybe my body wouldn't have to take damage that it did, and a body and mind. But it did, and maybe that's just something I deserve in a way for being negligent to her feelings, at the time. So maybe I should have showed her a lot more love than I didn't show her. And all I can say is like, well, hopefully I get to do that. I would like my life to work out in a way that I get to do that. Like I don't leave things undone, and I don't want to leave this undone. So that's about it. Thanks for listening. No weird comments.